Hey, what's up, my new Standard Nation? It's TJ with Strategic Real Estate Experts, and today we're going to talk about like the most totally fun, awesome thing ever: attorneys, and should you hire one? So, first, with that said, it depends. It depends on your specific situation. It depends on where you are in the country. Some parts of the country, attorneys are way more involved in almost in every transaction. Wisconsin, places like California. There's a couple other states, attorneys are very limited in their involvement in the transaction. But again, it depends on your specific situation. We've had, most of the time, at least for us specifically, attorneys aren't involved, but sometimes they are. So a lot of times with estate sales, or if somebody's unrepresented, they might have an attorney. Attorneys can be a good resource potentially, especially if you have to draft something that isn't a typical document. So let's say last week, we had to have a shared driveway agreement drawn. We actually had to reach out to an attorney and have them draw that up. So it depends specifically where you are, but if you're looking to have an attorney to review everything, I would say it would be better to have, or behoove you to have them on the front end versus just bringing them to closing. Because once we get to closing, you can't change any of the lender docs, the financial docs, and especially the mortgage or deed that's recorded against the property. It's a standard boilerplate thing, and if your attorney comes and starts striking stuff out, the bank's not going to let you close on it. Most attorneys know that they can't do that anyway. So when you're looking at and thinking about hiring an attorney, what are the pros and cons to it, right? So pros, you're going to have another set of eyes, but the con will be you're going to spend, let's say, $400 to $1,000 just to have somebody else review that offer. Now, specific areas, I was talking to, actually helping an agent buy a house up here that lives in Chicago. And she had said the way they work down there is they actually negotiate with the seller themselves, the agents do. Then each party has an attorney, and the attorneys draft all the terms that were talked about and agreed upon, and then they come together again. So there's actually 2 negotiating periods. So way different than what we experience here in Wisconsin. So I would say just familiarize yourself with what the common practices are in your area, but don't ever feel like you can't have an attorney if you need one. If you're doing something, I'm saying crazy, but out of the norm, it might be good to have an attorney there so that the verbiage is written properly, especially if you're not using state-approved forms. So again, just make sure, understand the necessity for it, what's standard in your area, and then kind of go from there. In Wisconsin, we have all the state-approved forms that have been drafted by attorneys, and we're just filling in the terms of the offer. Now, if you're going to go buy a piece of vacant land potentially, and you want to make it subject to rezoning and all this other stuff, you might want to have an attorney draft that language so that you can protect your interests. So, again, depends on the type of property you're looking to buy, what you're trying to do, and then we make recommendations based on that. To find out more about what it takes to buy a home, check out knowbeforeyoubuy.realestate.com. Call, text, or email me with questions, 608-576-0044, and emails tj@sreehelp.com. Don't forget to raise your standard, and we'll talk to you soon.